Hello? Imagine receiving the most advanced and sophisticated machine ever built, one capable of repairing itself, adapting to change, and performing millions of processes every second without you even noticing. That machine is your body. And like any precision creation, it was designed with an instruction manual. Ignore those instructions, and you may still function for a while, but eventually, something will break down. The fascinating thing is that manual has existed for thousands of years, and one of the clearest sections on how to fuel and protect this body is found in the book of Leviticus. Leviticus 11 gives specific guidance on which animals are suitable for consumption and which are not. At first glance, these rules might seem arbitrary, but modern science shows they are anything but. Let's look closely. For land animals, the requirement is clear. To be considered clean, the animal must both chew the cud and have a split hoof. This describes ruminants, like cattle, sheep, goats, and deer. These animals are plant eaters with a unique digestive system that reduces the risk of transmitting diseases to humans. Their meat, when naturally raised, contains a healthier balance of fats and fewer harmful microorganisms compared to omnivores or carnivores. By contrast, animals like pigs, camels, and rabbits do not meet both criteria. Pigs, for example, have split hooves but do not chew the cud. They are omnivores, consuming a wide range of foods, including decaying matter. Their digestive system is relatively short, meaning toxins and parasites are not broken down as effectively as in ruminants. Modern science confirms that pork can carry dangerous parasites like trichinella, which can cause trichinosis, as well as bacteria such as salmonella and listeria. While cooking reduces risk, it does not erase the fact that the animal itself is more likely to carry harmful agents. In the water, the Bible instructs that only creatures with both fins and scales should be eaten. This means all shellfish, shrimp, lobster, crab, oysters, mussels are excluded. These species are nature's cleaners, feeding on waste and decomposing matter from the seabed. As a result, they accumulate high levels of heavy metals such as mercury, cadmium, and lead, as well as harmful bacteria and viruses. This happens regardless of the waters they come from. Even shellfish harvested from areas considered clean naturally filter large volumes of water each day, concentrating microorganisms and toxins in their flesh. This makes them a biological risk in any environment. Some argue that populations in countries like France, Italy, or Spain are healthy because of their seafood-rich diets. But this is a misleading conclusion. The strong health indicators in certain Mediterranean communities are primarily due to a balanced lifestyle, one that values fresh vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, whole grains, moderate portions, regular physical activity, social interaction, and rest. It's about harmony between personal life, relaxation, community, and work. These are the real pillars of their health, not the consumption of shellfish. In fact, studies from these same regions record regular cases of shellfish-related poisoning and accumulation of harmful metals in consumers over time. We even have a real-life example of a modern community in the United States that closely follows these biblical dietary principles. In Loma Linda, California, recognized as one of the world's blue zones, places where people live significantly longer than the global average, residents avoid pork and shellfish, choose fish with fins and scales, and focus on plant-based foods, nuts, whole grains, and fresh produce. They also value rest, family, and community bonds, creating a lifestyle that supports both physical health and emotional well-being. As a result, many live active, healthy lives well into their 90s and beyond. Now, some people dismiss these instructions by pointing to the vision of Peter in Acts chapter 10, where he sees a sheet descending from heaven filled with all kinds of animals, and hears the words, "Do not call anything impure that God has made clean." But if we read the context carefully, we see that this vision was not about food, it was about people. Peter himself explains, just a few verses later, that God was teaching him not to call any person impure or unclean. The vision was preparing Peter to accept Gentiles, non-Jews, into the fellowship of believers, breaking down cultural barriers. It was never an instruction to abandon the health principles God had established. The physical and functional reasons behind those dietary laws remain just as relevant today. The same health principle applies to fish without scales, like catfish or eels, which feed near the bottom and consume decomposing material, increasing their toxin load. Fish with fins and scales, on the other hand, tend to have cleaner diets and pose fewer contamination risks. Leviticus also lists certain birds as unclean, particularly scavengers and predators such as vultures, eagles, hawks, and ravens. These birds feed on carrion and can carry a wide range of diseases and toxins in their flesh. Clean birds, like chicken, turkey, and dove, typically feed on grains and seeds, making them a safer and healthier option. One of the most striking instructions is the prohibition against consuming blood. The Bible says the life of the creature is in the blood, and modern medicine validates this statement. Blood can carry viruses, bacteria, and parasites, and improper handling of meat with blood increases the risk of infection. This ancient command mirrors modern food safety practices in the meat industry. Taken together, these guidelines form a dietary system that, even by today's scientific standards, minimizes health risks and promotes long-term well-being. Thousands of years before microbiology, toxicology, or nutritional science, the Creator outlined principles that protect the human body from harmful pathogens, toxins, and unhealthy dietary patterns. These instructions were not just about physical health. They were about setting apart a people to live differently, with a deep respect for the life and body given to them. And today, we can also see they were a framework for a lifestyle, one that values balance, rest, strong relationships, and a healthy rhythm of work and relaxation. So, when we view Leviticus not as a list of outdated rules, but as part of the manufacturer's manual for the human body, the logic becomes crystal clear. The one who made us knows exactly what fuel we need and what will harm us. If you found this exploration eye-opening, I invite you to keep discovering with me. There is so much more wisdom in the pages of the Bible that modern science is only beginning to confirm. Subscribe to the Core Path and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next video, where we'll continue uncovering timeless truths designed for your body, mind, and soul.